Welcome back to this episode of Catch Some Soulshine, and I am joined by Damla Aktekin, and she specializes in a lot of things, but today we're going to focus on inner child healing, and we're going to dig really deep into that, but I would like you to introduce yourself to our guests so that they can know a little bit more about you. Before we get going, don't forget to leave us a comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff so that you don't miss an episode of this podcast.
Hello, everyone. So happy to be here. I am Damla Aktekin. I am an inner child energetic wound healer, crystal healing teacher, writer, and an inner child intuitive reader and astrologer. So that's quite a mouthful. All of that to say, the name of my website and business probably explains it all. I feel like it's a drop of which is a summary of my feeling that we are all drops of drops of vibration, symbolizing the basic underlying vibrational essence of all of us. And we are drops of swimming in a sea of a sea of vibration. And we get to experience all the things in our dropness. And my specialty is I get to work with you to specify what are some of the things that you would like to change and heal within that mix so that you can shine brighter and explore your full potential.
That's awesome. That's so perfect because even though my platform, really talks about grief and healing from grief, because I've suffered so many losses of loved ones, right now I am grieving the loss of a job, even though I resigned from that job because I realized that the environment wasn't conducive for my well-being. And I pulled the plug. I went in and put in my resignation, and I have been just a wreck ever since. So even when you're making a decision that you know in your heart is the right thing to do, it's still really hard, really difficult. So I just happen to have some crystals, and I don't know if this is the direction we want to go in, but like I was drawn to these two crystals, and this is like the pink, like a pink quartz, and this one is, of course, the lavender quartz. So I really do believe that we're drawn to, like the rose quartz heart, right? I got to nurture my heart, the purple quartz. But if you have any insight on that,
I
I'm
do.
all
I actually first want to speak to your opening statement of leaving your job, and I'll repeat what I said earlier, which is congratulations. And it's probably because of your life experience that you didn't hesitate. And you said, this doesn't work vibrationally. I need to swim in different waters. So congratulations and all the blessings to you for making a choice that works for you. And yes, it's difficult. And yes, it brings up things, which brings me to the way I approach crystal healing is different than most. I don't actually prescribe to rose quartz, go to the heart type of mentality.
okay.
So what I would ask you is, when you hold those crystals, what do you feel in your body? Where do they awaken? What part of your body do they talk to? Because more often than not, we don't quite go there, to that place of exploration, to that place of allowing ourselves to be a child again. I used to
Mhm.
teach crystal healing to children pre-pandemic, and they knew how to um, be in the presence of crystals. They knew how to go inside them. They would see shapes, colors, geometry that I didn't explain to them. So there's an innate knowing in us, and we're inevitably connected to the realm, to the vibrational realm around us, which carries immense information. So does the quantum space in us, and our DNA is crystalline. So each and every crystal is connected to each other, and so on and on. I teach all of this. But for you in particular, and perhaps this speaks to someone listening, when you hold a crystal, I would say, the first thing I would say is, where in your body does it light up and want to speak to? So that would be a perfect starting point.
So, when I was holding both of these in either hand, I felt almost like there was a connection flowing across both arms, like a loop almost, both arms. That's what I feel.
You're pointing to your left hand, correct?
Mhm. Yeah, yes. Left and then to the right and
Yeah.
left to the right
That's
and
a
back.
reminder to you that you're allowed to receive. As much as you give, you're allowed to receive. And what can you, in this tender and transformational time of change, what can you allow yourself to receive, even in the midst of not knowing what's next? Does that speak to you?
Yes. I was just talking to someone earlier and I said, I'm really transforming my whole belief around money right now because I had security with my job. I had a steady income, I had a regular paycheck, and now I don't have that. And I've always used my gifts of art and creativity and helping people heal through their emotional turmoil, emotional empowerment. And I practically gave that away a lot of times. And I'm still a giver, but now I'm having this shift. Why is that? Why am I afraid to have an energetic exchange of money for these things that I'm giving to people? So I've actually been thinking about that and thinking, no, it's time. It's time
Yes,
to
yes.
open up and receive that energetic exchange of money.
And and how can that be pleasurable?
Right.
How can that be pleasurable?
Right.
Um, how can you allow it to be less about reaching an objective versus, because I can see that you're someone who enjoys giving. How can you enjoy receiving?
Mm,
Good questions, no?
that's good food for thought. Yeah. I will say whenever I've sold a big painting or a beautiful piece of art and people pay me for it, I feel really good about it. But then, in the back of my mind, I think, but that's not really why I paint and that's not why I do this for the money. I do it because I love it. So I think connecting those two will really help me. It's good to receive, it's good to do what you love, and I am helping people. So,
Yeah. So your crystals were right on point.
mhm.
just, just help translate.
Yeah. Wow, that is powerful stuff. So tell me, how did you first get into, the crystal healing and realizing your gifts?
My journey started in, well, it actually started before then, but in 2012, I gave birth via emergency C-section. And at the time, I was a full-time yoga teacher. And before that, I had the transformation of leaving the corporate world, moving into yoga full time, and I thought that was going to be it. That part I call my time of moving from living in my mind versus discovering I had a body. With the birth of my daughter, though, I went through a deep, dark period where I lost my connection to my body. Nothing I knew from my yoga experience or knowledge was working. I wasn't able to meditate. So I was losing my connection. And I just made this vow of, okay, just divine grace, source, love, just show me whatever is next. And I'm going to grab it with full arms, full body. I'll move towards it. And a few things were part of it. Mantras were a part of what I was directed at. EFT tapping, which was another vibrational tool. But crystals came up in that time too. And I found myself as a new mom, not able to go into books or resources or memorize what the crystals were about, or really have any time to get any dogmatic information about them. And even when I did go to those resources, it just didn't match my inner experience. Because what I did was I would just lie down and place them on my chakras. Chakras I knew from my yoga knowledge. And something started to shift gradually. It wasn't like, I had this big aha moment, but I would just go in feeling a certain way. I would stay with my crystals and I would just reach to them, just like you did at the beginning. I would reach to what was needed in that moment. And then I would leave the meditation, however much I could do, 5, 10, 15 minutes, feeling a whole lot better. And I started to teach this. I started to offer crystal healings to others, which then led to my inner child healing exploration, which is another story. But let's just say that I was being shown in that time, and I still am in that just the mind-based living didn't work for me. Just the body-based living didn't work for me. I needed something deeper, much more all-encompassing. And that was the vibrational essence of living, our quantum beingness, our essence, our basically choosing of being non-local entities and choosing this local GPS to be here and now in this physical body. All of which I call the vibrational existence, the vibrational healing that comes out of realizing all the multi-layers of our being. So that was what crystal healing opened up for me.
That's incredible. So then how did you pivot? I know you really are called to the inner child healing. How did you pivot toward that? And what does that mean to you? Because I've had different guests come on and tell different versions of it. I would love to hear yours.
Yeah. I didn't pivot at all. It was just, again, I was being led and guided. I would get crystal healing clients and we would go explore whatever they're feeling. And then all of a sudden, like, let's say we're looking at a client's heart, they would say to me, Damla, I see my 3-year-old self in my heart. And then we would go in there together. During this process, I also discovered I'm clairaudient, clairvoyant, sentient, all the clairs, basically like a deeply sensitive empath. And I was like, okay, there's something here. And then there were other people, we would touch something in their body, like the body is the source. And they would say, Damla, this feels like older than time. And that would give me the clue that we're dealing with an ancestral wound. I began to pay more attention to this when I had a dream, which later became reality. I'll tell you about that too. But in my dream, I am standing by the Great Pyramid in Egypt. It's nighttime. I'm looking at the sky. There's a beautiful night sky filled with millions of stars. And I keep telling everyone passing by, just look at the amazing stars out here. And some of them pass me by and some of them stop and look with me. And I woke up knowing that I was looking at the inner night sky of each and every body, each and every physical body. And I knew just instinctively that all the stars represented the inner light sparks of our inner children. Inner children meaning all your light potential of any moment you have lived through in this life, past, parallel, future lives, your ancestors' lives, their past, parallel, future lives, they all live here in the body, in the quantum realm of your body. And I also came to understand that what we were diving into, that heaviness in the heart or that ickiness in the shoulder or the throat, that are just the clouds. That are just the clouds in the sky. Just as the cloud it can obscure, but it cannot break a star. All the energetic wounding is the clouds in your body, in your inner realm. And the potential, the inner children, they are never broken. They're never hurt. There exists the quantum potential for you to awaken, bring online, and live in and be with in every single moment. You have that potential available to you.
Wow. I did a timeline exercise with a practitioner, Cami Baker Miller. And what really resoundingly came up for me was this guilt, maybe surrounding, and it went way past me, guilt of my ancestors, like didn't do enough, could have helped, could have changed, and I had to take a really deep look at that. And I think I have grown quite a bit, but I'm completely transparent that I know that there's still some of that guilt clinging to me, if you know what I mean.
Yes, and I would ask you the same question I asked earlier. Where does that live in your body? The body is the inner night sky. The body is the darkness that we don't see. It's underneath the skin. The body is the crystalline realm. Your fascia, your bones are crystalline. Your plasma is crystalline. The body holds the memories of time and beyond and connects you to the wisdom and beyond. It connects you to other crystals. It connects you to the radio station of creativity, healing, abundance, energy, love. So you got to come back to the body, start with the body. But just to complete my dream,
Yeah.
2022, I actually had a pilgrimage to Egypt, and I got to stand by the pyramid at nighttime, which was sort of a full circle moment for me.
That's awesome. Yeah. With the world as it is now, travel is a little bit minimal for me, but who knows what the future holds. I do plan to see some, faraway places and the stars and all the healing, so that's pretty cool. To go back to your question, I have a lot of joint pain, knees, hands, feet. And just recently I've just had this pain in my right hip, and I know it's significant. I know that it is. So,
Is there a part of your life where you've been overdoing?
well, yeah, my whole life has been overdoing. And, I've often said I need more time to focus on my own journey and my healing and the things that light me up, my art and helping people in the way that I want to help them. But I work so much and I give so much that I didn't have time. And so I think in a way, even though I'm not really liking this period that I'm in. I think the universe answered me.
Why are you not liking this period?
Fear. I'm
Mhm.
afraid, you know? That fear creeps in like, yikes, how am I gonna pay for my house? How am I gonna buy groceries?
Yeah.
Um, but I do trust that God, I call it God, has a plan for me. I don't know what it is, but I trust that everything is working in my favor. And I know that's true.
Yeah.
All right. We're at a point now where I like to do the quantum oracle card reading. So, um, I'll kind of shuffle these up and if you have something that you're thinking of, maybe something will come through. It usually does. And we'll see what happens. So I'll pull one for you, which is back and forth. I don't know if you see that. And then I'll pull one for me because I need it. Mine is present power. Let's see if I can get it. Present power. So, let's see. Back and forth. I don't know what do you think that means? It's in the intention.
I am in the process of incorporating edits to my book
Mhm.
about crystal healing, which is going through its own birth journey and, of course, taking me through another transformational journey. And there is a bit of back and forth. I mean, you do go from line to
Yeah.
line.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
you could say that.
So this says, on the intention seesaw, man stands at the center of the seesaw with one foot on either side. When he leans right, the left side lifts. When he leans in the other direction, the right side lifts. He could be spending lots of time and energy moving back and forth, yet always staying in the same place. The man is representative of your mental and energetic focus right now. You're in a quandary, stuck between two choices, going back and forth because you're unsure or maybe afraid. You may have been in this place for a while. You may be considering a new career direction, a creative project, an investment choice. Could be asking yourself if you should stay in your present relationship, but you are stopped by confusion or self doubt. Fear of making the wrong decision causes you to make no decision. Your energy may be stagnant, perpetuating the same old feelings and results. It's time to get off the seesaw, pick up the next best direction for you. It is safe and comfortable for me to make my own choices. I always choose the path that honors me.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, perhaps it's speaking to someone listening in some way.
Or maybe me.
Do you feel like it speaks to you?
Yeah, I was like, well, maybe that was my card. I don't know, but did it did speak to me a lot. So, um, and then I chose the present power card.
Can I see the picture of the first card?
Yes. Back and forth. Did you see it?
It also says intention.
Yes. This is
I
the
am in the process of evaluating my 2024, and I actually already know my word for 2025. So that part speaks to me. I'm definitely,
Mhm.
I wouldn't say going back and forth so much, but evaluating and intentionally choosing or not choosing things for me.
Okay. I feel like there's a little nugget in every card for somebody if you
Mhm.
are open to it. So mine was present power. Um, right here. That's my card. And this man stands on a pedestal holding a chain in each hand. The chain in his left hand represents the past, holds a powerful lion. The chain in the right, representing the future, holds a tiger. The beasts are quiet. The man is in control. Thoughts about past and worries about the future can neither run away with him nor consume him. The card's letting you know that you have significant power now, and there's some present issue that will benefit greatly from your attention. If there's a matter to be resolved, a project to be finished, a decision to be made, now is the time to prioritize it. You're in a position of strength, so keep your thoughts focused on the issue at hand and be ready to take action. Joyous opportunities are opening up for you at this time. You are now capable of taming the rampant, fragmented energy in your life by staying strong in the current moment. The past is over, and the future will bring beautiful blessings as long as you continue to be conscious of your present power in the present. So, the affirmation is this present moment is my source of power. I release any worries about the past or future, and I choose peace right now. So, yeah, that is my card. For sure. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Wow. So, if people want to reach out to you and possibly do some healing energy work, how can they do that?
Yeah, very easy. You can go to my website, adropofom.com, adropofom.com, and find me the same way on YouTube, on Instagram, adropofom. And I would say if you're drawn to me, there's probably a reason. And I have quite a few offerings. I do have an inner child crystal healing membership with over 200 wisdom teachings, healings, meditations in it. So that could be a good start. And then you'll find that I have quite a few free gifts as well. One of them is a meditation called Allow Life to Flow. It's an EFT tapping. And people have had great results with it. It just lets you move through whatever is coming up in the body. And it's all about being in the body now and diving into those clouds and realizing that you don't always have to do it alone and by yourself. And if you don't want to do it alone anymore, I'd love to be your guide and your partner in that. So
That's wonderful. And I just for people that are like me and just want the easy button, I will have that link in the description of this podcast. So all you have to do is read the description and you can press a button and have her information. Thank you so much for joining me today. I've learned a lot from you in this short time, and I have a feeling I have a lot more to learn. So check her out, and I will catch you guys all next week on Catch Some Soulshine.